Hi everyone, today we'll be talking an in-depth analysis for Faber Residence. This is quite interesting because I have a bit of mixed feelings for this. I'll share with you a bit more because why? This is in my favorite estate, Clementi estate. Although some people may not agree this is in Clementi because it's in a landed Faber estate, but I do think it still belongs to Clementi lah. But the performance of the resale surrounding is not very high. So in this video, I'm going to deep dive. Is it because it's a low-rise development because the plot ratio is 1.4? As we know, 1.4 plot ratio means it's usually situated in the landed enclave. So comparing this with like their neighbors opposite the highway, West Coast, where you have Parc, Resale, Grand, Twinview, these people make so much money. Why is this area so unpredictable? So I'll deep dive and I'll share with you why am I having these mixed feelings. I'm going to share with you brutally that not all the layouts can be bought. I think I have some preference of some layouts and some layouts I really will avoid. I'll share with you about everything. And this could be a potential underdog in the last quarter of 2025 because we have the very hot, Sky Holland, Zion Grand, Penreef, which are in very popular estates. Faber Residence, on the other hand, in Clementi, but the more ulu part of Clementi, but the land bid price was super attractive, right? It's only about 900 plus per square foot. That's very similar to Springleaf Residence. And comparing this with Springleaf did so well. They did 90% on day one. But Springleaf, even though near MRT, people will argue that very ulu, there's nothing much there. Clementi, on the other hand, while the immediate vicinity here, really nothing much, but it's still, after all, Clementi area. So we're going to deep dive. We're going to find out whether this is a project that you should really consider if your queue is not that great in the other launches that I mentioned earlier. So these are some perspectives of the development. I think they have designed quite well. I mean, after all, it's by good developers, by GuocoLand and Hong Leong. So quality should be not bad lah. So this is the location map. So this is where we are at. This land plot over here, this is AYE. Some of the units will be very, very noisy. Then this is Parc Rivera, which is a very, very hot West Coast development, very tall, and definitely almost the direct opposite of what we are because we are this kind of low-rise development, 5 stories high only. So I'm going to find out what are the challenges we're going to face and whether is this a concern for you. Yeah, so we are right over here, this on the street directory map, not near MRT, nearest bus stop over here, walkable. The bus stop is fully accessible to Faber area. I've walked there before because when I entered my career in 2017, I started doing rental in this development at Waterfront and Faber, which is just next door. And that time, for Waterfront, just TOP. So I'm quite familiar with the area. I've walked here multiple times to take the bus. It's about 5 bus stops to Clementi MRT, but many buses will lead you to, I think, Marina Bay area. So in this area, the interesting thing is it has a Clementi effect. Meaning what? Meaning that a lot of tenants will want your location. Why? Because we are situated near International Business Park over here. We are situated near Ng Teng Fong. We are situated near NUH, near East to NTU, NUS. There's also students from SIM who is coming here. And also people who work in the CBD, they just like this location. So Clementi, or rather this location, including the West Coast area, rental yield is always very good because it supports a lot of these tenant nodes over here. I also want to bring attention to you, Parc Clematis, because a lot of agents will tell you that, wow, Parc Clematis has transacted 2005, 2006 per square foot already. We are not too far away. Definitely, this is a good buy. I will take this with a pinch of salt because Parc Clematis itself is a mega development. It's high-rise development, I think 20 over stories. It's a very different product and much nearer to MRT. In fact, from the side gate, you can easily walk to Clementi MRT. It's about 8 to 10 minutes walk. For Faber itself, not really. So Faber will probably attract more to owner-occupiers who drive. If you don't drive, I think it will be an issue. But for Parc Clematis, even if you don't drive, I think it's still okay. One key thing for the location over here is also we are 1 km to Nanhua Primary. So if you are someone looking to schools and you want something cheap that's near to good school, then this is it. I don't think there's anywhere that you can find something cheap that is still 1 km to a good school. This is a super good selling factor because good schools usually do command a premium. So these are some of the project information developed by GuocoLand, Hong Leong, TID. And I think product-wise shouldn't be an issue because the quality should be good lah. This is by reputable developers. Total number of units 399. The land size, I want you to notice because later I'll talk about this, is about 26,000 square meters. 99th project, expected TOP, first quarter of 2029. That's okay. And we have multiple blocks as you can see over here. Why? Because only 5 stories. And to build 399 units, you need to have multiple blocks because one block, so about I think 6 to 8 units per floor. Yeah, as I mentioned, 2 blocks of 8 units, 9 units. There's also 2 blocks of 10 units. That's quite a bit. Car park lots 1-to-1 because not near MRT. That's good. Then also bicycle lots. This is the unit mix. We have no 1 bedroom, only from 2 bedroom onwards. And I'm glad that the 2 bedroom, they cap it at 20%. What this means is that it's good lah. If you're buying this for investment, you have lesser competition. If you're buying this for own stay, also not too bad. But the good thing about having majority 3 bedroom and bigger units is that the whole condo will feel like a own stay product. The vibe is different because the people staying there are different. And this really matters during the resale market because in resale, when people come and take a look at a unit, more often than not, they will walk around the facilities, get a vibe, get a feel of how it is. And if they see children running around playing Singaporeans, then definitely they can visualize their own kids playing with these kids and visualize their children running around. They feel safe. They feel like this is a place they want to be in. However, if you have majority 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom unit types, then most likely there won't be so many families staying there. Most likely will be expats, singles. But the good news is, with the new URA regulations, all the small units are capped at within 20% of the development, which is right over here. Most developments going forward, if they are harmonized projects, likely they will be very, very catered to owner-occupiers because they need to build all these unit types moving forward. And I think that is good news because if they attract more owner-occupiers, the demand comes organically, then prices can grow organically. That means people buy for own need, they buy for own stay, and when they do that, usually in terms of pricing, there's a bit more growth potential because people are more willing to spend a bit more emotional when they see a unit they like, they can visualize themselves staying. Investors, on the other hand, when they come in, it's really about dollars and figures, maybe about that $5,000, $10,000, they will be really, really nitty-gritty about it. And then it's very hard for prices to move upwards. So interestingly for property, in my opinion, if the development caters to a lot of investors, then likely prices may not grow as much for that development. But in this case, I think it's good news that majority are big unit types. And this is the distribution chart. As I mentioned, a lot of blocks, as you can see, 5 stories high, only this block where you don't have level 1, level 2. Other than that, it's just homogeneous lah. And this is the site map where this is the AYE over here, which means noisy. But the good news is no one unit is directly facing, like it's a bit sengit over here. So that's good. Similar to Parc Clematis. Parc Clematis also make it sengit. That helps with the noise. I went to find out there is no tennis court. There's a multi-purpose court over here where if you want to make it a tennis court, it's not quite a tennis court because the dimension is a bit smaller. It's more like a pickleball court, which is a bit sian in my opinion because why? The land side looks as if you could do a lot of facilities, but I also understand why is it like that because you see it's 1.4 plot ratio. You could build 399 units, but because you only cap it at 5 levels, you need to have multiple blocks. So suddenly, all the properties, all the units, right, need to take up a lot of the site area within the development. Hence, there's no space for facilities. So on level 1, when you walk, right, you may not feel like, wow, there's a lot of space, there's a lot of facilities. This is the vibe that you're going to get because it's a low-rise development. On the other hand, if you take a walk at, let's say, Resale Grand, 40 stories development, if I'm not wrong, there's only 2 blocks. Big land plot. When you walk around the facilities, you'll feel like, wow, so much space because only 2 blocks ma. So they can cater tennis court lah, swimming pool lah, gym, all this. They can make it very well because there's a lot of space. But for low-rise development, the key challenge is they don't have space because they need to build all these residential blocks in order to cater the units. So let's talk about high-rise versus low-rise development. I went to take a look at Resale Grand, CDL project, just directly opposite us. Tennis court over here, as I mentioned. So you can see just 2 blocks over here, swimming pool, full condo facilities. When you walk around the facilities, you can really feel the vibe. But what I want to share here is that how are the prices different in a high-rise compared to a low-rise development? I believe this is during one of the earlier launch dates, 2-bedroom, 624 square feet. Around the same time when they were transacted, a 6th floor was transacted 1,003 PSF, a high floor was transacted 1,004, 1,005 PSF. The difference works out to be about 13.67%, which is kind of in line with the 0.5% floor jump that we are familiar about. And the reason being because it's high-rise development. For example, if the developer wants to make an average of 1,350 PSF or 1,004 PSF in this case, they can easily sell 1,002 for the very, very low floor up to 1,006 for the very, very high floor. And they have all this range to work with, then average they will achieve 1,004 PSF. Now, let's look at low-rise developments. So low-rise developments, we have Daintree Residences is at Upper Bukit Timah. This is also 5 stories high only for 2-bedroom, 710 square feet around launch date. Level 1, level 5, this is the price difference. The difference is only 3.57%, less than 5%. What this means is that if the developer wants to achieve 1,007 PSF, they can only launch maybe 1,650 to 1,750 PSF. And that's the range that they're working with. The price gap will not be super significant. So what does this tell us about Faber Residence? Likely, the spread of the prices will not be super significant, but they may not sell very cheap. Yeah, they may not sell very cheap because there's no range for them to load the prices very high on the higher floors because there's no higher floors. It's just level 5. So also means that if you come in a bit later, you buy, maybe you could still buy relatively same price as day one unless developer increases prices significantly over time. If not, unlikely they can charge a very high premium simply because of the different facing and stuff like that. And let's talk about new versus resale in the area. So as we can see, we have Faber Residence over here. I will talk a bit more about Waterfront and Faber, this over here, and also Faber Crest. Waterfront and Faber is a 2017 project, even though here I put 2018, but I was there since 2017. You notice that the land size is about 15,000 square meters. Just now I mentioned for Faber it's about 26,000 square meters. So we are a bit bigger than Waterfront and Faber. 210 units over here. Developer, world class, I don't really know them, so I don't think it's super reputable. Plot ratio is the same, 1.4 because it's just side by side. I want to show you the profitability over the years. So this is where I first had my concern for Faber. Why? Because I look at the profitability, the annualized returns. Not great and it's very shocking because for Clementi, we all know that Clementi is super hot. The HDB make a lot of money, the condos make a lot of money. Why are we seeing this? Is it because it's a low-rise development? So I wanted to dig further. But one thing in mind, I know, the latest, newest resale in the area didn't make a lot of money. And that is a concern to me. Then we have Faber Crest. Faber Crest is much older, TOP 2002. But their land is bigger, 36,000 square meter, which is about 10,000 square meter bigger than Faber Residence. So Faber Residence, just nice, is sitting in the middle. We have 26,000 square meter, where on one side, Waterfront is 10,000 square meter smaller than us. Faber Crest is 10,000 square meter bigger than us. Developer-wise is CDL, I went to check. Total units 360. So we are similar in terms of number of units, which means actually this development is even less dense because they only have 360 units. But wow, the profitability of these units are crazy. Even those that bought during COVID, this 3-bedroom over here made a lot of money. Annualized returns 9%, which I thought was super amazing. Granted, you could say that, this is a very old resale then definitely they can buy cheap. But that means that in 2024, people are willing to pay much higher than what they paid for, right? So I still think that, super interesting. So I wanted to find out more why Waterfront on one hand didn't perform so well. On the other hand, Faber Crest can perform very, very well. Because if Faber Crest can do so well, then it doesn't mean that 5 stories development cannot buy. It doesn't mean that 5-story developments will definitely be unprofitable. So let's discuss more in this video. So there we have it. We have Faber Residence indicative pricing. I think super attractive for one, but I wanted to investigate more to see that, wow, even if I buy this price, what if I cannot make profits from this? Yeah, but other than that, it's still very attractive. If I compare this with, let's say, Elta, because Elta is the latest launch in Clementi, definitely this is so much cheaper. So let's talk about the 2-bedroom in Faber Residence. We have a lot of floor plans to cover because there's a lot of different layouts. There's no 2-bed, 1-bath. Thank goodness it's all 2-bed, 2-bath. And the layout is quite similar, so I will just use maybe B2 to talk about. The size is exactly the same. The only difference is the aircon latch changes side over here. And yeah, the kitchenette also changed side over here. Other than that, I don't see much differences in this layout. It's a decent layout. There's no windows in the bathroom. I wish there were windows in the bathroom, but there isn't. But understandably so, because really this is the smallest bedroom type. So they won't build windows here. They won't give you the corner unit. Kitchen, good in the sense that it's tucked away. So when you enter, it looks broad. Immediately when you enter, you have a wider vision over here. It's not so cramped up. So it's okay. And the living size, I think is quite decent. Dining size is quite decent. Not much complaints, just wish that there was a window. But I always prefer conventional layout to dumbbell because I think I just prefer conventional because I stayed in a 2-bedroom before. I cannot imagine staying in a dumbbell, so that's me. Rental yield, let's talk about rental yield around here. The median rental in this area is about $4,000. Assuming a starting price of $1.29 million, which is what I showed you just now, rental yield is 3.72%. Good. Because even if you buy a bit higher, 1.3 plus, 1.4, likely you probably can still hit your 3.5% rental yield. For a new product, I think it's super strong and low entry price. Because at this price, nothing much you can buy, especially 2-bedroom. So if you are someone who is looking to buy investment property for rental, you don't need to move in. Trust me on this, you won't have any issue or much issue in the rental. Because why? Since day one in 2017, when I handled my landlord's 2-bedroom dual key at Waterfront and Faber, I had no issue in terms of vacancy. The rentals are very good. Rental yield is super good. No vacancy. And there's always inquiries coming in and it gets taken up very, very fast. So I truly believe the rental around this area is strong, resilient, despite the different market conditions, always can find tenant, even though not near MRT. So if you are someone just looking to buy for investment property, can definitely consider this one. Then let's talk about the resale around the area. Waterfront and Faber, 2-bedroom recently transacted at 1.08 million. This is very, very cheap in my opinion. But let's find out a bit more. How is Waterfront like? So Waterfront has this very interesting concept where they have very high ceiling. Then in one of their common bedrooms, they will have this like mezzanine loft setup where below here, this is the wardrobe. Then you have the stairs. You can fit a queen bed. Over here, you sleep on top, but it's very close to the ceiling. Then your wardrobe is just under the staircase. If you really want, you can try to do a study over here, but from experience, it's not very wide. Why they do this, right, is because, number one, you have high ceiling, but the width of the bedroom does not seem to be as wide. That is why they try to cramp it out like that, so they don't need to give extra width for the wardrobe. But in my opinion, I feel that because of this, the resale performance of this development is not that great. Perhaps that's why it's like that. But in addition to what I just said, this layout is also only 1-bath. There's no 2-bath. Granted, they give you the home shelter, but it's only a 2-bed, 1-bath with a kitchenette. Although this layout is not bad because the dining and the living is landscape, it's very rare for a 2-bed, 1-bath or even a 2-bed, 2-bath to have a landscape living dining. They have it here. I just feel that the bedroom 1 in this case with the mezzanine loft layout is a bit disappointing. Yeah, it's very hard for you to do anything. What if you don't need that whole mezzanine thing? You can take it off, but you need to spend money to dismantle. And I see a lot of resale listings and rental listings, they just leave it there. So yeah, I do feel that this might be a potential issue to the resale performance. So as you can see, the profitability of the 2-bedroom, not fantastic, 1 to 2%. Honestly, I'd rather you don't buy. I'd rather you buy equities or stuff like that, because if you account for interest, you account for all your transaction costs, I don't think you have made any money. Yeah. But if you want something cheap in this area, then definitely this was it. and Faber will also be a cheap product. Then let's look into Faber Crest, 2002, much older development. Very big, 1,000 square feet, they're about 1.27 million. This is very close to what we're going to launch at, $1,255 per square foot. Wow, very, very profitable compared to Waterfront at Faber. So I do think, right, why I want to show you all this is because I feel that Faber Residence is a bit between Faber Crest and Waterfront at Faber, in the sense that land size, we are sandwiched between them. And I think in terms of layout, some of the layouts are not bad, but some of the layouts cannot buy for Faber Residence. And if you buy a good layout, likely your performance will be closer to this kind. If you don't buy the right layout, then I think your pricing will be more similar to Waterfront at Faber. But I do think in general, on average, the profitability will be in between Faber Crest and Waterfront at Faber because of the land size and the floor plan and also the developer's factor. Because Faber Crest was developed by CDL, Faber Residence developed by GuocoLand and Hong Leong, which are reputable developers also. So in terms of product quality, I think we don't need to worry that much. Just want to understand in terms of how land size will affect profitability. Let's talk about 3-bedroom now. So this is the 3-bedroom compact in Faber Residence. Starts from 797 square feet. Looks okay. Dumbbell layout kinda. Good thing about dumbbell is that you save the walkway, but I would have still preferred 3 bedrooms on one side because I prefer privacy for the master. The not so good thing about having a dumbbell layout is that if you stand in the living area, you almost can see the whole unit. And that means that you don't really feel the space. One thing that I don't really like about this layout is that while they give you 3 proper size bedrooms, bathrooms does not come with windows, kitchen while tucked in does not come with windows as well. So I don't think this is particularly exciting in my opinion. Then we have the next 3-bedroom layout, a bit more exciting because the windows are here. This is a corner unit, but the kitchen cannot be enclosed because unless you do it like that, then you can enclose. Yeah. If not, there's no way to enclose the kitchen in this layout. This is slightly better than the previous one, but I still think not super ideal in this case. Even though bedroom size, I think it's all at least 9 square meters, which is very generous. I think that is the gold standard in today's market to be able to fit a queen size plus a side table. So definitely good to have. But yeah, no enclosed kitchen in this case. It's a bit disappointing. Then we have the next series of 3-bedroom layouts where if you need a storage space, you need a study space, or you need a helper's room, for example, although there's no windows for that, you have a flex over here. But they take away the bathroom windows, the kitchen windows. So there's no kitchen windows, there's no bathroom windows. And once again, this is a dumbbell-ish layout, which means you can see almost everything also when you're standing there. Once again, I don't think super ideal. So in my opinion, all the 3-bedroom compact, not super exciting. And I wouldn't really consider, unless you really no choice, you need a budget-friendly 3-bedroom, then you can consider, but don't expect the profitability to be very good because I think in resale times when people come in, they look at the layout, I don't think they'll be super excited about it because your main exit strategy should be your HDB upgraders. And HDB upgraders will definitely look into all these factors before they decide to purchase. Now we have the 3 Premier, and this is where things start to get more exciting, and these are the layouts that I can confidently tell you that yes, I think it's good for you to consider. Firstly, you come in, there's a foyer, I like that. There's a small toilet, which I think slightly unnecessary, but sure, at least they give you the window for it. Nice. Dry kitchen, wet kitchen. Wet kitchen comes with windows, finally. Home shelter, definitely good to have because all your HDB upgraders all have a home shelter at home. Bathroom, thank God there's a window. Flex, window. Master bath, window. And all 3 bedrooms, one side. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the first layout that I think can buy in Faber Residence, and we come up to the 3 Premium over here. But if they really truly launch around 2001, 2002, then even for this 3 Premium layout, you are looking at about $2.2, $2.3 million, which in today's market, I think can consider, especially because you still have the 1 km to Nanhua Primary. It's a good school, and I've heard a lot of good things about this school because my wife's alumni from Nanhua Primary. So definitely people will go for the good schools. And more importantly, they'll go for better layouts in these developments. Yeah, both layouts are about the same, I would say. So I just go through the CA lah. Then this is the other two layouts, which I think very similar. Also 1,033 square feet. Then this one is 1,044 square feet, where the walkway area here, they changed the orientation of the DB box. So maybe there's a difference in the 10 or 11 square feet over here. But other than that, not much difference. Oh, bear in mind, C10, no window for the above 3. I would rather they have windows. So if you can, go for those with the windows instead. Because windows are important in my opinion. So now let me talk about the resale in the area. Waterfront and Faber, 3-bedroom. This is their smallest 3-bedroom. It all comes with a home shelter. As mentioned earlier, their bedroom 1 comes with the mezzanine loft concept. But the other bedroom is okay, except this window is a bit small in my opinion, and the aircon actually is there. One of the bath also doesn't come with windows over here, which I think can potentially be a bit problematic in the resale prices. And that's why the prices are not the best. The performance is not the best. Recent 3-bed transacted 1.668 million, which I think is super cheap, 1,005 PSF. But potentially because of layout, potentially because the development itself, the upkeep is not that great also. That's what I heard. And that's why the performance is like that lah. Faber Crest, good layout. Every bedroom can fit a queen size, not an issue. Comes with your yard, utility, kitchen. This is the old school condo layout before they started all your bay windows, big balconies, stuff. So I think it's quite okay. Except this bedroom 2 window is a bit small. But the resale performance is pretty good. 9%, 4%, 5%, thereabout. 1,259 square feet, 1.569, super cheap, but then again super old lah, because it's already more than 20 over years, 1,246 per square foot. Then I want to talk about Parc Clementi. So I am not going to share so much about, Parc Clementi is already transact 2006 lah. So you come here, you buy cheaper than resale, definitely okay. Because I want to acknowledge that Parc Clementi is a different product. What I want to share here is that I want to share with you different layouts in the same development can have very different performance in terms of per square foot. So some people have the misconception that the bigger the layout, given the same bedroom type, the PSF should be cheaper. But in this case, interestingly, we see that the bigger layout of 3-bedroom, actually the per square foot is higher than the smaller layout like the 893 square feet, only at 2,002. Then why do we have 2,000 per square foot here and why do we have 2,000 per square foot here? It's because those two are dual key units, and we all know dual key units don't perform very well during the resale times. So I'm not going to talk about dual key. I will just focus on the smaller and the bigger layout over here. So Parc Clementi's TOP late 2023, almost 2024. I want to share with you 893 square feet refers to here, 1,044 square feet refers to here. Both layouts, bedroom 3 can only fit a single bed. It's not big enough for a queen size. Yet the PSF difference is kind of significant. In fact, this is only level 2, this is level 7. But then again, Parc Clementi's level 2 feels like level 6, level 7 because it's elevated. But I want to share with you a lower floor, bigger layout, command higher PSF than a higher floor, smaller layout. And my understanding of this is because in this area, if you can give them all the traits like the storeroom, bigger living area, yard, all these very livable features, Clementi people can afford that. And they will want to pay for that because it's buy for own stay. On the other hand, if it's 893 square feet, everything very small, then your bedroom 3, you still don't give me a queen size bed, that's when the per square foot will be affected. And that's why I think in Faber Residence, it's important for you to get the 3 premium layout. And I think you'll do much better than the 3 compact layout. Also, I want to add on Elta, which is a recent launch earlier this year. This is the next cheapest 3-bedroom at the point of filming. And this is the layout. Not bad. All 3 bedrooms can fit queen size, except bedroom 3 is facing this way. It's not all flanking one side. But all bathroom comes with windows, that's good. Kitchen comes with window, that's good. 926 square feet, $2.6 million. So if you can buy a 3 premium cheaper than this $2.6 million, honestly, I think quite safe. Because Elta is over here. Elta is also not near MRT. Don't have Nanhua Primary School as the 1 km. If they can command this kind of price, then I think Faber Residence in that sense is quite safe. Then let's talk about the 4-bedroom in Faber Residence. 4-bedroom, we have, once again, a lot of layouts. Similar to the 3-bedroom, we have one of the bath, the very small bath at the entrance. So this kind of entrance, small bath is good if you have the practice where you want your guests to wash their feet. Then they can wash first. Or you prefer them not to see your bedrooms, then they don't need to walk until here to use your bathroom. So if you are someone who is very into privacy, then this kind of layout definitely will be good. I think layout is good because over here they never built you the cabinet is because if you want to hack this wall to make it into a very big 3 premium with a landscape living area, you can. Just that this piece of concrete will still be there. So just take note over there. But the balcony is good size, it's not super long. This gives you the flexibility. If you don't need all 4 bedrooms, you can knock that wall and make it into a landscape 3-bedroom premium unit. You can. Just that this wet kitchen is not glass. So it's a bit darker, the wet kitchen. But all the bathrooms comes with windows. Kitchen comes with windows. That is good. Except this bath 3 does not come with window over here. So I wouldn't go for that. Just take note about it. Other than that, I think it's good. Except this bedroom over here, potentially you are facing your neighbor's unit, so not much privacy over here. Likely you want to put your curtain down all day. So do take note whether this matters to you. If it does, then maybe not that great. Then you have the next 4-bedroom layout where if you really want to knock down this wall, this is even better because you can have a huge balcony incorporating your living area. The only major setback is window, don't have. Wet kitchen window, don't have. Bathroom window, don't have. Master bathroom window, don't have. So can buy or not? In my opinion, I wouldn't buy this also because I need my window. Means the whole house very dark You wet kitchen, no window, then how to cook? Because 4-bedroom people usually tend to cook one . So for me, I will also seriously not consider this layout. I would prefer the earlier 4-bedroom layouts. So now we are back to the earlier 4-bedroom, but this one is a bit on steroids one because why? Bigger balcony. But other than that, bigger wardrobe over here, bigger cabinetry, and then the bathroom is nice. So this is a bit bigger than previous first series of the 4-bedroom where that was 1119 square feet. Over here we have the 1270 square feet 4-bedroom layouts, which once again, window, no window. So go for those with the windows in the bathroom 3 also. Just that one setback is there's no window over here, but maybe this one's still not as bad. If it really matters to you, then use the one with the window over here. But I think decent 4-bedroom layout, it gives you everything that you need and you can fit an 8-seater over here. Why do they give you a portrait format? It's because it's not wide enough to put an 8-seater over here. That's all. But dry kitchen, wet kitchen, that's nice. So I think this layout still can consider. Then let's look at the resale in the area. Waterfront and Faber, once again, bedroom 1, you have the mezzanine thing. And this bedroom is facing this way. Bomb shelter, you have bathroom. Common bath does not come with window, but the yard comes with windows. Over here, the prices done 1.77 million. Very cheap actually. Not many transactions. February was the last transacted. Then we look into Faber Crest, 4-bedroom, 2 million. In fact, this is more expensive than Waterfront and Faber, even though Faber Crest is much older, but size differs quite a bit. And this was done 2 million at 1154 per square foot. But the layout over here is much better because it has everything that you need and everything is good size, except maybe the bathroom in the middle may not come with window also. So I think it's a standard feature. In resale times, when people come to view and realize that the common bath, all no windows, then bo pian. This is what it is. So even in Faber Residence, the common bath does not come with window, or just the common bath, no windows, I think that's still acceptable. Then we look into Elta. Elta, 4-bedroom. First thing I see also, bathroom 2, no window. So I think it's okay because everybody also no window so it shouldn't affect your profitability that much. I want to show you what is the last transacted for this smallest 1184 square feet over here, already done about $3.2 million. So if you can come in at like 2.8, 2.9, below 3 million, I think Faber Residence will be very safe. because if I'm not wrong, the 4-bedroom starts from 2.3, 2.4 million in Faber Residence. So it's actually very, very safe. Let's look at the 5-bedroom, the last layout of Faber Residence. Looks great. If you want to make it a big landscape living dining, you can. Then it's a 4-bedroom. The only few things is no windows. Wet kitchen, you have window, but here no window. The common bath has no window. Other than that, it's okay. Yeah, but the 5-bedroom does not excite me that much because of the windows lah. Yeah, I may just go for the 4-bedroom or even the 3 premium in this case, because the 5-bedroom, I do see some downside in this case lah. Yeah, but then again, we always talk about scarcity of a 5-bedroom, so possibly may make quite a bit of money, but I don't think it's as safe. And also they could have done a window over here because there's space but they never. So I would have preferred if there's a window over here, then light can enter here. And your dining and living will be very, very bright. Because right now, in this case, your dining here will be quite dark because there's no window. So there's another of the concern that I have. So preview starts 3rd October. Actually, today, as point of filming, today is 3rd October. Preview has started. If you want to take a look at Faber Residence, especially if you are someone on the fence, if you are someone who is very keen in Zion Grand, your Penrith, your Sky at Holland, Faber Residence, the sales will probably be decent because a lot of people who can't afford the first 3 launches that I mentioned, likely they will have also placed a check in Faber Residence. Likely they will consider a unit there because it's so cheap. But as I mentioned, a lot of the layouts I think I wouldn't recommend. Some of the layouts I think they're pretty good. So you need to really study, especially what is the facing and whether that layout is something that Clementi as an area can accept or not. So I believe I've gone through in detail all the different layouts, and I do believe Faber Residence, while it's a bit of a wild card, I think the performance will be between Waterfront and Faber Crest simply because we have a reputable developer. Land size, we're in the middle. And I think the floor plans wise, we are also decent, better than Waterfront and Faber. So because of that, I think performance will definitely be better than Waterfront and Faber. You can consider because of the cheap purchase price, because the land bid price is super cheap, and after all, it's still Clementi. If profitability really isn't that good, at least in the meantime, you can get solid rental yield because of this location. I hope this video has helped you a lot. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me via my WhatsApp. I'll put my WhatsApp details in the description box below. If not, I want to hear from you. Do you also have the same concern as me? Do you also feel that, wow, this one cannot buy because Waterfront made so little money, right? How can we buy this? Please let me know your concerns. I will answer all of them. If not, I will see you in the next one.